If you're looking to get into day trading and have realized that it takes a lot of money to go ahead and make a lot of money, prop firms might be your answer. So basically what these are companies that you can go ahead and create an account or even multiple accounts to go ahead and trade with someone else's money. So when I first started trading, raising capital was one of the hardest things I had to go through because I didn't have a lot of cash, right? Typically, if you are doing day trading, you have to abide by the PDT rule. So it's a pattern day trading rule stating that if you live in the United States, instead of just gambling money and buying and selling all the time, they have come out with restrictions to have at least $25,000 in your account to go ahead and trade as much as you'd like. Otherwise, you're restricted to only 3 trades throughout the week. So if you don't have a lot of capital, there are these awesome prop firms that you guys can use to go ahead and leverage someone else's money to make your own money. So with that, there is great reward, but there are also some restrictions. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here and show you guys a couple prop firms that I recommend. If you guys literally just go to Google and type in prop firms, there would be a bunch of different options that would go ahead and show up. Some of them are kind of like foreign. I'm based here in the US, so some of them, like based on where you're living, might not be compatible. But if you just typed in prop firms, there's like a bunch of different ones that pop up. I just kind of wanted to highlight the 3 main ones that I personally use. So there's no restriction on, you can only use one prop firm and that's it. So these are kind of like different banks. Imagine there's Bank of America, there's Wells Fargo, there's Chase. You can use one or all of them at once. So one of them here is Take Profit Trader. I'll kind of just point out just maybe one pro and one con that I like about these guys. Essentially, it is you get daily payouts. So instead of just waiting, 5 or 7 or 10 days to request a payout, you guys can do it day to day. I'd say the con is they do take 20% of the profit. So if you made $1,000 in the day, they would take 20% of that, which would be $200. So Take Profit Trader is a good one to go ahead and check out. There's also Tradeify. So these guys have a straight to funded account. So what's cool about this is typically when you do leverage somebody else's money, you go through an evaluation phase. So before they just give you, this certain amount of, whether it's a 25K, a 50 or a 100K account, they want you to make sure that you're responsible, you know how to trade, you're not Hail Marying accounts on, just because you are using someone else's money and not yours. So they put you in a simulated account and you have to hit certain criterias, which is usually making a certain amount of profit. So maybe it's $3,000 or $5,000 that you have to make until you get transitioned to request payouts. But Tradeify does a good job because there is a straight to funded account. So you don't have to go through that evaluation phase and, make $3,000 or $5,000 to request payouts. So it is a little bit more pricier as you choose these plans, but it is kind of nice not having to deal with these simulated accounts. Another one I like here is My Funded Futures. I'd say this is probably the best one for beginners just because the barrier to entry is pretty easy. The fees aren't crazy high, and then you also get 100% of the first 10K that you make. If you guys got any questions on what prop firms are or which ones you guys recommend, let me know down in the comments about trading with prop firms and how to use them and leverage them correctly.